college basketball, again, is dead, as we all know. But also, is it? Because Tom Izzo is still in the game. And For now. And he was asked on a radio show, Stoney and Jansen in Detroit. This is the best part about these coaches, right, is like most of the things that get aggregated. I know people hate aggregators. That's like the term. Yeah. Don't aggregate my quotes. Most 9 times out of 10 is when these coaches go on local radio shows and they get asked from the local diehards, and they have to kind of give them something. They can't.
It's always an environment where you feel like nobody's listening.
Exactly.
And that's when they get you. That's how they get you.
And that's when it ends up on 247 Sports and is all over the world. And so first and foremost, to Tom Izzo, I know that he said this probably jokingly. I know he said this thinking, again, no one's listening, especially not Coach K. But we were listening. Yeah. And he was asked about his retirement. He said, when I do it, I'm just leaving. And I think that's all you need to hear.
Was he asked this, or was he asked specifically, how are you going to retire? Mm-hmm. Or was it?
He was asked about K. So Coach K, he was asked, basically the question started, Coach K's retiring, what about you? When is your time? And what he said was, it's interesting, guys, because you get asked those questions. I say, hell, K got 8-9 years on me, so I got plenty of time. He said, the day I don't feel like flying to Vegas or Orlando, that's when I know that like it's basically over for me. So Izzo kind of has all these, and then he says like, but when I do it, I'm just leaving, which says basically I am not going to get Nike to give me a year-long farewell tour where everyone gives me flowers and I sniff them.
Tom Izzo is the type to make this decision in the middle of the season too. To make it maybe at halftime. Who's the guy that played for the Bills that retired at halftime? Who was that guy? Do you remember that story?
Oh man, that was amazing. Please look that up.
People are gonna kill me for not remembering.
That was incredible. Who was that? I was like, in my head it's Brandon Tate, but it wasn't Brandon Tate.
Vontae Davis.
Vontae Davis.
When he retired,
one of the greatest corners of all time, one of the greatest Hard Knocks characters of all time. Had a great time with the Colts.
Vontae Davis explains why retiring mid-game was the right decision.
Dude, he was so hilarious on Hard Knocks in practice. That was when Joe Philbin was coaching the Dolphins, and basically Vontae Davis was like asking for a trade at practice.
That is Tom Izzo. When he says like, I'm just gonna leave, he doesn't mean like at the end of a season. Tom Izzo is gonna just like he's gonna be down 17 at halftime against Purdue in West Lafayette, and he's just gonna get an Uber to the airport.
Yeah, well, I think I figured out. Well, we all know what the real number is. Number 2. He's going for number 2. He's going for the second national championship to say that the Flintstones wasn't a fluke. We are this premier program. We are the premier program in Michigan in the Big Ten. We're gonna win our second championship. I'm not sure that that's gonna happen right before he leaves, but I figured out what he's actually going for. This is the real number. So he has 643 victories at Michigan State. Big Ten victories.
Yeah.
Bob Knight has 659.
Oh,
if
so
he gets to 660, Big Ten wins. That's probably 2 seasons, maybe 1 great season.
Yeah.
He gets past Bob Knight, the winningest coach in Big Ten history, 2 seasons, and then boom, he leaves.
You think he's got 2 seasons left?
I think
is this a scoop?
No, this is not a scoop. But based on the numbers that I'm crunching right now, I think he's trying to get the most Big Ten wins. Because it's good for the Big Ten, too, right? When you talk about our winningest coach, it's probably better to have Izzo.
Is it better to have Izzo than Knight?
Yes. From a PR standpoint.
Yeah.
Probably now.
Yeah.
At a time, obviously, Bob Knight.
You're right.
But I think when Izzo leaves, you take that record. The Big Ten network, everybody, they give you the thumbs up on the way out.
I'm sort of surprised it's Knight, to be honest. Even though Knight is the best coach in Big Ten history, I'm surprised it's not. It feels like something like Gene Cady would have the record for. That would be. We'd be seeing that. I guess if that was the case, we would see that graphic.
I feel like Coach Titus just fell out of his chair thinking that Gene Cady had more wins.
If that was the case, we would see that graphic from at Boiler Ball.
Oh my God! Every day, every day. Big Ten stat of the day. Remember, Coach Cady owns the Big Ten.
I guess you're right. Yeah, Izzo's gonna get but it's got to be the national champ. That's really what
he wants. Number 2.
Yeah,
he really wants. But do you think number 2 is actually going to happen?
No, it's not.
Exactly.
No, it's never happened for the Big Ten again. And I think Juwan Howard Juwan Howard is so stupid. He believes that he could win a national title in Michigan, and you can't, Juwan, because I'm not saying you're not good enough to. I'm saying that's how it works for Big Ten.
Can we quickly tangent and just say that Juwan Howard is up for every NBA job?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is Juwan Howard will eventually take one of those jobs when he has the epiphany that you just simply cannot win national championships in the Big Ten. It can't happen, and it's not because your program can't be good. You could have the single best program in the country year in and year out. Gonzaga should join the Big Ten. honestly, in that regard. I think they'd fit in perfectly.
So we do a Big Ten update this year instead of the Pac-12 update, and we just have Gonzaga in it.
We just do, like, the Big Ten update should just be national title odds. Like, who's got the best odds? Who's got the best odds?
And then we laugh at it.
And then we pick it apart, and we're like, there is a 0% chance Michigan State's winning it this year.
Or Indiana.
Like, Purdue has expectations, and that is a dangerous spot to be in. Purdue is going to be top 10 probably to start the season.
I think so. Yeah,
maybe top 5, depending on how
I've seen Purdue put out they're going to be a top 5 team.
Yeah,
which means top 10. Yeah,
if Purdue wants to turn up the propaganda, I'm sure they could get people to vote them top 5 preseason. But if I'm a Purdue fan, I do not want the propaganda. I do not want any expectation. This would terrify me. But yeah, Purdue's going to be one of the teams this year that's going to have they're going to be a Big Ten update. We'll do an update. We'll just be like, can Purdue win the national championship? And the answer's probably not.
But it is true. Like, Carson Edwards, I mean, not to say Purdue was going to go on the same path as Virginia, but, like, they were on the verge of beating. If they beat Virginia, things go their way.
Explain to Purdue fans forget what happened. Explain to them what happened.
I'm just saying.
How it fell apart for them.
It was so close. It was so close.
They forget.
It was so close.
They just blocked it out, and now.
Oh, man.
No, I think that's when Juwan Howard decides he's going to the NBA. Is when he doesn't realize that yet, but some of the old weathered guys have figured it out, and I think Izzo has figured it out, but he's like just crossing his fingers that. But that's where when you're talking about guys retiring, I think that's you have to start filling in the blanks with like what else is there for them, and it's easy to just pick every single coach and say they want to win one more national championship, but I don't think that's even necessarily true because, in Izzo's case, maybe
Izzo has to in his mind. He really does.
I guess like Cal, Izzo, and Self, they all have one, and maybe they need another one, but. I really feel like if like Cal wins another one, he's just like, all right, now that I'm at the top of the mountain, I want to stay here for as long as possible. I want to come back for another year.
Yeah.
Not that Cal's even close to retiring, but you know what I'm saying?
I think Cal is literally one.
I think he's wired that way.
I think that is going to be the legacy of Kentucky when he leaves. You know what I mean? That's going to be the headline that they put in the Lexington, newspaper that says one and done, and it's Cal retires.
Cal's won.
And he won one championship.
One national championship. Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
And I think Izzo, I really, really want Izzo to win another national championship. I think he deserves it. I mean, think about the final, 2005, 2009. I mean, we can run all the way up. I mean, there has been so many opportunities. Even 2009, I know North Carolina beat them in the title game, but it felt like that year with Detroit and the collapse, like it just felt like it was going to be, you thought they may win that game. It didn't happen, but like there have been so many times where I feel like Izzo has been literally right there. That it has to happen, but college basketball is dead, as we know. So maybe it doesn't. 2010,
they who they lose to? Butler, right?
Yeah,
they played Butler in the.
Yeah, and that was like supposed to be a guarantee. Yeah,
like 2010 was a great opportunity because I didn't feel like the 4 teams there that year were
that
awesome.
Great.
Yeah, and.
I mean, they definitely weren't. I mean, Duke won. I mean, Jesus Christ, me, you, and 3 other people we get together probably beat Duke. And that guy's the head coach. Oh my goodness! Can we mention that John Shire, my beloved Carolina Hurricanes?
Dude, is the what if of Hayward's shot still trickling? It's still it's still reverberating.
Yes.
Of the Brad Stevens. That's the Brad Stevens, John Shire, Gordon Hayward. Like all of it.
Yeah.
It's still trickling.
Gordon Hayward is Jokic right now. He's winning MVPs. He's like Larry Bird in the NBA.
Yep.
Brad Stevens has Coach K's respect by beating him in the title game, so he gets the Duke job.
So you think if Stevens wins
if Stevens wins, he gets the Duke job.
Because I think I guess you're right.
Because K can't. Like, kind of how LeBron does this. Like, you can't be my enemy if you beat me. Now you have to be like what he's doing with Curry right now. Yeah. He's like, I love Steph Curry. You're like, wait a second. Oh, hold up. Coach K would have done that with Brad Stevens.
But would Brad have taken it is the question. Because
Brad took Danny Ainge. You know what I
know,
mean?
But Coach that's because Brad – I wonder if Brad wins a national title at Butler, is he like, why would I leave now? Like I like kind of a Tony Bennett Virginia situation. I think when Tony won at Virginia, locked it in. He's like, I'm not going anywhere else. Why would I?
Yeah,
I've done it. I can do it here. I'm going to stay here forever. Do you think Brad stays at Butler?
Doesn't stay at Butler. I think he wins the title and goes straight to the NBA.
IU?
No. I think he wins. I think he wins the championship and immediately gets the Celtics job. Danny Ainge is calling him, and then he's with the Celtics for however many years.
Not a fun
and then when K retires,
how is that a fun what if that you're saying? The what if for Brad Stevens? He does exactly what he did already.
No. The sliding doors moment in time is that Brad Stevens, instead of bumping up to the front office, he would have bumped down to Duke. and that would have been the same day. You know what I mean? Even though it happened on the same day, the sliding doors moment was that it was supposed to happen in conjunction. Those two events were supposed to be together.
Who was the Celtics coach before him?
Doc Rivers.
It was Doc.
Yeah, it was Doc.
He took over for Doc.
Yeah.
So were they ready to fire Doc then? I don't know. That's a lot of what ifs.
Well, they were ready to fire Doc. They were ready to fire Doc.
For Brad Stevens, you fired Doc.
Hey there, thanks for watching Titus and Tate. For the full friend of the program experience, subscribe right below and come join us for all things college basketball. The action is heating up. Come join Titus and Tate.